Appreciate you for jumping in. The Dallas Cowboys episode today will be the Cowboys crazy, and I mean just that crazy cuts in order to save cap, and that would equal cap, by the way. And for those who don't understand, that's pretty much where we at right now. I read an article earlier today. Shout out to the fan side. Shout out to the people that's out there writing these articles. But the problem is, with these beautiful articles, what have you. Shout out to you, Sam. Appreciate you, first one that's been here. These articles don't make sense. Now, I do know that you create a little buzz here, you might sprinkle a little doubt there so that you can push your agenda. But Cowboy Nation, I come here to tell you, please, don't cut your legs off from under your feet and don't buy into the foolery. Shout out to you, Craig. This is the thing. This is the thing, Cowboy Nation. They said in this beautiful article, should, that's the operative word, should the Cowboys cut? Should they cut Amari Cooper to sign Michael Gallup and Cedric Wilson? I understand money. Money is an issue with the Cowboys. And they like to walk around with the chest out. They like to walk around letting everybody know that we got this deal done. We were able to save money here. We signed this guy that's going to be a third string tight end, Jerry Sprinkles, and we do a video on Ito Smith. We do a video on Corey Clements. And it sounds good. But the problem is, Cowboy Nation, is that we have an issue with an ego situation. You got to get John Stephen Jones up out of the pocket, because he like to hold everything tight, close to his vest. He do. Shout out to you, Greg Berry. Shout out to you. So that's an issue, Cowboy Nation. It is. It's a flat out issue. I don't care if we have 30 Cedric Wilson's on the team. Cedric Wilson is Cedric Wilson. I don't care if we had 3 Michael Gallups on the team. Michael Gallup is Michael Gallup. You guys got to understand that Amari Cooper, he is, quote unquote, best wide receiver we had on the team last season, the season before that, and the season before that. Amari Cooper, you got to figure out ways to utilize Amari Cooper. You can't just sit here and say, all right, I'm going to cut Amari Cooper, bring back Cedric Wilson and Michael Gallup, and CeeDee Lamb will be the end-all be-all. No. For one, Cedric Wilson still is not proven. I like what he can do with trick plays. Shout out to the trickery. Shout out to the foolery. I absolutely like Michael Gallup. High pointing the ball, pulling it out of the sky. But Michael Gallup is Michael Gallup. No teams are sitting back saying, okay, let's roll coverage. Let's try to figure this thing out. Let's try to shut this down. They're not. They're absolutely not trying to do that, Cowboy Nation. But Amari Cooper, they are sitting up there saying, okay, let's put our best DB on Amari Cooper. Let's take the safety that's over the top and roll coverage that way. To another degree, we all like CeeDee Lamb, but CeeDee Lamb is still developing. And he could, by chance, next season, arrive. Would it be good to have that extra cushion to know that you have to worry about Amari Cooper on the other side and not putting all of the onus on CeeDee Lamb? See, this is the issue that's been going on for quite some time in the Cowboys. They did this before. I recall one year, and I get it, you know, the year we drafted. You guys remember the year we drafted Dez Bryant? But the year before, we had Terrell Owens on the team. And all I could think of, yes, Terrell Owens was considered cancer. Could you imagine Dez Bryant and T.O. on the field at the same time? But no, the Cowboys said, you know what, we're going to cut our losses with Terrell Owens. We're going to get him up out of there because of the impact that he has on the mental aspect of the team. And they absolutely roll out this package right here. Yeah, Miles Austin. Yeah, we all knew what happened with Miles Austin. They drafted. They had the mindset that Miles Austin was going to be that guy, and they had the mindset. Correct me if I'm wrong, that Roy Williams would be the other guy, and Dez Bryant. And that was the year, I believe, Roy Williams tried to punk Dez Bryant by having Dez Bryant to carry his shoulder pass. Dez like, shoot, I ain't finna do that crap. It's crazy how the Cowboys organization continue to do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. And even if you look at, think about this. Think about this, Cowboys. Cooper Kupp, good. Cooper Kupp, great for the LA Rams. The LA Rams were wise enough and smart enough to know, baby, he can do it by himself. Yeah, I'm at the AJ, yeah, I'm at the dealership again, man. Annual checkup. I should start putting in the title, the annual checkup. I'm over here at Arlington. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. See, I'm at the Arlington. Arlington, appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. Annual checkup. So, neither here nor there. I'm an audio sound. I'm okay. I'm good. Y'all let me know. Quarterly checkup. Yeah, appreciate you quarterly, not annually. Quarterly. Yeah, quarterly checkup. Appreciate you. Appreciate y'all. Yeah, appreciate you. Amari could have been Kupp if they got back to feeding him. Yeah. I mean, now Cooper Kupp, he ain't nobody to sneeze at that. Shout out to you, Greg Barry. Cooper Kupp was no one to sneeze at. But they knew. They're like, hey, Cooper, he still needs help. They didn't just sit there and say, okay, let's just go straight with Cooper Kupp. No. Chase or Jefferson couldn't even eat off of this scheme. Yeah, man, you're right. Oh, by the way, I'm sorry if the title is misleading, but I should have. What did I put? What did I put as my title? Let me see. What did I put as my title? Y'all let me know what I put as the title. But these are crazy roster cut equals cap. Basically. And these are just suggestions in order to save money. Shout out to you. We get a defensive tackle besides Osa and stop the run. Yeah, like Sue or Vita Vea. Look, Vita Vea signed a $60 million contract. Sue, that's a long tooth. Look at it. Y'all see it? Popo. Y'all see it? They should all take cuts and pay. That ain't happening, Chief. That ain't happening. The reason why people don't take pay cuts or what have you, because these contracts pretty much got to be guaranteed. And a lot of times, your contract, Cowboy Nation, is a contract that an agent has put up for you that he's trying to work for another player. So that's why 9 times out of 10, a lot of guys do not accept the bare minimum contract because you got guys like ain't gonna say this man's name again. I don't know if we can use this man's name like that. But everybody's one hit away from being not ever playing in the NFL ever again. So that's why these guys don't take those cheap contracts. What about the love of the game? This is Richard. Shoot. Richard said, what about the love of the game? What's going on over here in Arlington? They got police, ambulances, every minute around this one. Let this one drive by. See if y'all catch this right here. There we go. Y'all see that? Thank you for tuning in to the Nation Film Session. We're here live. Oh my God. Nobody played for the love of the contract. What? Nobody played for the love of the game. They don't. They don't, because they see the reality of the game. You play for the love of the game in middle school. You play for the love of the game probably in high school. Maybe you started to realize when you get to college, it's about the money. And hear me out, if it was really, and we all know that the cap can always be circumvented, because you can circumvent the cap by sliding money under the table. We know, let's be real about that. But nobody did that. Nobody did that. Nobody did that. Appreciate you, Greg Berry. I hope all is well. Without Cooper, we won't go to the playoffs. You're right. You're right, Bang. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. Shout out to you, Sadiq. Appreciate you for jumping in. So, here's what I'm saying. We can look at some veteran guys and say, man, why did they go to this team and take the last play? We can look at some guys and say, but 9 times out of 10 when they do that, it's either they already played the game long enough, they in their late 30s, and they on their way out. These young guys, just like with C.D. Lamb, at the end of his 5th year, he's going to be looking to get that paper. He's going to be looking to get that bag because he put in the time, and he's looking for that one big contract, that one big contract that can settle himself for the rest of his life. So that's why I love him. Look, I get it. We look at it like this. Why don't these guys take $25 million, let's say, for a quarterback? Why don't these guys take $25 million juxtaposed to taking $45 million or $50 million annually? There's so many things involved with that, and it just muddies the water. These guys are looking to get paid. As players age, they thinking about survival. They're looking at life after NFL at that point. Yeah, Drake, that's exactly what they do. And I got this one for y'all. If it wasn't for the money, shouldn't they let people into the stadium for free? Shouldn't they let you park for free? Right? If it wasn't for the money, should the NFL owners say they make enough money off of TV revenue? You go to the stadium, you go to the game, a hot dog is like $15 to $20. Beer is like $25 to $30. So that's why these players, they looking at everybody else get paid. Why not they get paid? That's how they looking at it. Yeah. I mean, in football, the average NFL career is 3.3 years. And these guys looking at it like they trying to squeeze out as much as they can. Sam says Cooper ain't fixed. I feel you on that, Sam. All right, so crazy Boston, because let me get back to the article. I'm going to post the article link so that you guys won't say, well, no, it's just clickbait. I'm going to post you the article link when the video is done. But I'm going to tell you guys, it would be an epic mistake for the Cowboys to cut Marcus Lawrence for the Q8 cap It'll be an epic mistake for the Cowboys to cut Amari Cooper to sign Michael Gallup and Cedric Wilson. That's what the article is suggesting. Now, I'm gonna tell you, you really got to make sure that this team is well put together in a sense where these guys, they know that they work out with each other. They know that they got things that they got to grind through all through the season, well, off season. And then you just leverage them and say, hey, we're going to cut you. Don't you know that those guys feel that pain? Shoot. It's crazy. More Q&A. What else you guys got? Ain't nobody mad at somebody eating. Yeah, Elmatic, appreciate you. Appreciate you all together. Appreciate you. Bang, bang. Appreciate y'all, man. What else y'all doing out here, man, in Texas? Cooper been playing up to his Jay Lombardi, up to his contract. He eats when he's fed, killing, starved the man. After Minnesota. What are our expectations of Kellen? What should we expect of Kellen Moore for this season? What are our expectations? I'm gonna talk about that. But appreciate you. So Lobo, appreciate you. Shout out to you, Sadiq. Wish Kellen Moore would go away. Restructure all it. That would be the best suit right there. Expect Kellen to let Cooper stretch the field. Yeah. Well, appreciate you, Jay First. Thank you for your donation. Your name will be entered into the drawings again for the Roger Staubach jersey giveaway. Run the ball more with Pollard to let Mike McCarthy call the plays. I feel Kellen Moore is supposed to be the brains of the offense. Great. All right. So, our expectations of Kellen Moore to be from gathering from what you guys are saying is for Kellen Moore to utilize the weapons, for Kellen Moore to figure out ways to get Amari Cooper involved, for Kellen Moore to develop a scheme that actually works. All right. So, and somebody else said for Kellen Moore to run the ball. Okay. All right. These are the things that we do know. These are the things we do know. Rain Dakota Prescott is 30-0. It's 30-0 when they run the ball more than they pass it. So let's take that information and we put it over here. Rain Dakota Prescott is 30-0 when they run the ball more than they pass the ball. Is that an indictment on Rain Dakota Prescott, or is that an indictment on Kellen Moore? I want to know your thoughts, Cowboy Nation. I want to know your thoughts. I want to know, baby. I want to know. Dramatic. Don't forget about Steele. Shout out to you, Jay Lombardi. I want to know. I really want to know. Steele, say it again. Yeah, spread the offense, same RPO. All right. So, if I do know the secret ingredient to the W, like to the win, for the win, why not all off season figure out how I can get back to that recipe that works? I can't go out there, I'm just using an analogy, to expect to make pecan pie out of apples, right? And one must figure out the greatest ingredient in order to keep things afloat. I know for sure I made a successful apple pie at my apples. Hear me out. But I cannot go out there and expect to make apple pie out of pecans. It's not going to work. The Dallas Cowboys' major issue is they got a bag of pecans and they try to make apple pie. Or they got a bag of apples and they try to make a pecan pie. Now with Rain Dakota Prescott, I get it. A third of the fan base really would like for him to go away. Rightfully so. You got that right for that opinion. You got a right to feel that way. But there's no bead of evidence that if the Kellen Moore can't understand that you are 30-0 when you run the ball more, right, with Dak Prescott, or you have a situation and scenario that your quarterback right now is 52 and 32, something like that, which is a crazy number. Good number, by the way. You cannot figure the philosophy out to win games. Meaning that even if you pick up Trevor Lawrence or Zach Wilson, you will have to go through that growing pains for another 6 or 7 years to figure out what ticks for them. So what I'm saying is, you already know the recipe to create beautiful and good tasting apple pie. Why not, instead of trying to create a pecan pie out of apples, you focus in on the apple pie? And I'm trying to draw this analogy out clearly. So the Dallas Cowboys heading into this particular offseason need to go back to the drawing board and say, okay, let's reassure and realign our offensive line, right? Let's make sure that the attack of the ball is in favor for me to get to 30-0 with Rain Dakota Prescott. It's not the fact that you hate or like or dismiss or don't believe in the system, because you got a system right here that shows that it can work, it can work, it can work. But you have to slow down, Cowboy Nation, take your time, and go back to what is working. Now, for reference points, let me prove what I just said before you guys shake me with the butter knife. I hope you ain't sneaking up on me over here. You know, since I'm outside, I hope you guys are not trying to sneak up on me. You know, I hope you guys are not trying to sneak up on the law over here. In 2014, the Dallas Cowboys decided to say to themselves, let's run the ball more than we can pass the ball. In that system, it was similar to the system that the Cowboys are still trying to employ today. It have not changed, right? Do anybody disagree? In 2014, the Cowboys decided to run the ball more than they passed the ball. Do anyone disagree? Boy, do you guys disagree with what I'm saying right now? The Dallas Cowboys decided to say to themselves, we're going to run the ball, we're going to put less pressure on said quarterback. Shout out to you. Facts. Okay, bang, bang. Appreciate you. Somebody agree with me, baby. Yeah. So, fast forward, 2015. That philosophy of running the block, getting behind the offensive line, it didn't work because you didn't have a quarterback to at least keep things in balance. It was a crazy situation for the 2015 year, but for many of people, just like me and everybody else were yelling, this is our year, baby. You know, we're gonna be angry, we're gonna be upset, but we know what it takes. We got rid of a running back by the name of DeMarco Murray, and people believed that Randall Joseph, or whatever Joseph Randall, was going to be that guy that could help solidify things. I'm just giving you guys a good brief information of what happened, and people already know. He missed a block. The quarterback was out for the year. We heard storylines of Jerry Jones saying that Brandon Weeden, I believe that year, throw the best deep ball that he ever seen. Better than Troy Aikman and everybody, mama, uncle, cousin. And we realized that Brandon Weeden, he was through. That's what all I can say with Brandon Weeden. On top of that, Cowboy Nation, let's get back to over here to my spot. Matthew Castle. He's supposed to be this guy that can fix some things for us. He grew up loving Troy Aikman, but his love didn't really work in the game. He threw the worst ball ever. He threw an interception so bad that they called, y'all hear me out, intentional grounding. It was terrible. Then they brought in Kellen Moore, the birth of Kellen Moore. Remember, Kellen Moore came in and they saw a little spark at the end of the season. He threw for 400 yards, I believe, against the Washington Commanders, right? Fast forward to 2016. Hope was regenerated. The Cowboys said they're going to go back to making apple pie. Hear me out. This is the storyline. They're going to go back to making apple pie. With Tony Romo, they drafted a running back. Not for that. They drafted Ezekiel Elliott for Tony Romo to go back to 2014. But what happened? Romo got hurt. Sad news. He entered Dak Prescott. Why am I telling you guys this long story? Because the system is still the same. Is when you run the ball, it creates better avenues and lanes for your quarterback. So that's what they tried to do in 2016. It worked. That's what they tried to do in 2014. It worked. Running the ball. That is the same system. Show of hands. Who believed that this system is different? Nobody believes the system is different. It's the exact same system. Run, set up play action, throw the ball. And now what happened is teams figured it out. The Cowboys love to run the ball. But here's the problem. Hear me out. Here's the problem. Teams realize that the Cowboys don't know how to run the ball anymore. We can beat Dak Prescott by dropping 6 DBs and telling everybody to run the ball. The Cowboys can't run on 6 DBs on the field. Why do you know that, Law? Well, it started back in 2018 that this guy figured it out. He could finally beat 7-man loaded box, and he could attack the one-on-ones to the outside, right? And then the following year, the 2019 year, it started back again, 8 Cowboys. But if we look at a multitude of games, we can go back and forth and talk about Cowboy Nation. The fact that we came close but no cigar on multiple games. Hear me out. The Cowboys been spinning around in the same cycle for over 10 years because we still have the same philosophy of no scheme to take away what the opposing team is doing when they change. Be honest, ain't Frederick? Well, that's a story of a different day, right? So fast forward to the 2022 season, we have the same scheme. We need to figure out a way, Cowboy Nation, to run the ball, to take advantage of the situation. When they played 6 or 7 DBs on the field, is there a way that we can come up with a disguised scheme? It's all rested for the 2022 season. We'll find out what we will do. Appreciate y'all, man. I thank y'all for jumping in on this long talk track. But now we need a better and healthier running back. do need a better and healthier running back. But here's my thing. Ezekiel Elliott, he was not the problem last season. He was not. Just like Dak Prescott and Amari Cooper was not the problem, Ezekiel Elliott was not the problem. The scheme was. And I know that we're going to look at other teams and we're going to say, well, Ezekiel Elliott lost his explosive. I feel you on that. Scheme and coaching. Coach is supposed to be able to look Ezekiel Elliott in his eyes and say, hey, man, we're going to set you out for a few plays and get Tony Pollard the ball. Just to change your pace, nothing to do with your skill set, so that we can get the favorable looks that we want. That is our main issue. Coaching and scheme. Because even if with a PCL tear, you pick up Ezekiel Elliott and you place him on the 49ers, none of you guys will be talking about Ezekiel Elliott. As a matter of fact, you guys will be saying this is a disadvantage for all of the teams because you got Ezekiel Elliott, you got a Deebo Samuel, you got a Brandon Ayuk. Man, you would be really mad because if we were to have Elijah Mitchell, the Cowboys would have been saying it's not fair. We got a 6th-round running back versus what the 49ers bringing to the table. It's all about scheme. It is. It is. All right, I like Zeke, but they are doing him what the Houston did. Campbell. Houston had a better run play. I believe Houston Oilers had a better run play. Shout out to Earl Campbell, man. He was bruised up, battered. He still played it through. Mike is going to do it his way. Appreciate you guys. How long I've been live, baby? Been live long enough, right? Been live long enough. Zeke is a closer. His contract is long. We need to preserve his health, save him for field goal range or less. Strong coaches going to have to do that, though. Strong coaches going to have to do that. But when you have political football, it will be crazy. It'll be a crazy roster cut, basically. If you cut Ezekiel Elliott, but you got to eat so much money. Kelly don't know how to make up running plays. Yeah, that's what I was alluding to. Oh my God. True, appreciate your true vibes. Your opinion, you're entitled to have it. Yeah. The greatest thing about opinion, those convinced against their will is of the same opinion still, right? Right? Everyone has an opinion. This is what we do, baby. We have opinions out there. Right. Appreciate those who jumping in. Thank you all for following the page. I will be talking some more nonsense to you guys throughout the day while I'm waiting on my car to get service out here in Arlington, Texas. The Dallas Cowboys. Forrest Grant, those are the type of glasses I'm rocking today. Appreciate you. We saved Zeke this year and cut his carries for playoff freshness. It doesn't matter to JL Lighting. Appreciate you. That would work. If you save Ezekiel Elliott, we'll go to playoffs and have a fresh running back to get into this thing. Here's my point, Cowboy Nation. Here's my point. Appreciate you. Shout out to EJ Eldorado. Here's my point. Dallas Cowboys. They really don't care about roster cuts because they talk about the escape clauses that the Cowboys have built in most of their contracts. Biggest problem with the Dallas Cowboys is this right here. We don't know how to leverage do in the marketplace for the Cowboys is we will either subtle, denigrate, cast aspersions on players, ridicule a player, talk bad about the player, and then we cut. We don't know how to have a mutual relationship with players and say, hey, we love you, but we're going to go ahead and move on with you, and we trading you to such and such team. We don't do that. Every single person that left the Dallas Cowboys left with a bad taste in their mouth, whether it be Cole Beasley, whether it be Dez Bryant, whether it be DeMarcus Ware, whether it be, I can go on and on, Martellus Bennett, even Jason Witten. You know, he left with the hair, came back without the hair, then he left with the hair. You know how it goes. It was still some type of discourse. It was still some type of muddying of the waters. And sometimes, hear me out, they get back into that good relationship and good vibe, and then they may make it back up. So that's the most disappointing part of life. If you knew you was going to get rid of said player, figure out a way to trade them before you use and abuse them. Don't nobody. It's like a bad relationship, right? It's like a bad relationship. As soon as you see that person with someone else, now you're getting mad and you're talking bad about them. You know? Oh my gosh. Jay Versus says, were you more disappointed in the coaches not coaching better, or the players not overcoming the coaches? Jay Versus, I appreciate your support, and I really thank you, man. Here's my thoughts on that, and I appreciate you, bro. Troy Aikman once said, he said the word we collectively, have to win in spite of the coaching. At the start, you guys can go back and watch my beginning of the year video. I said, this particular team is going to have to win in spite of the coaching. But also, they have to win in spite of the owners and the media. I said that. So, it's hard to overcome stupidity. It's hard to overcome political football. And when you have an agenda, when it's more about jersey sales, butts and seats, when it's more about splash and dashing, it's hard to overcome that. So they equally are mad at both, because we don't have that renegade person. We don't have that guy that can step up and say, hey, Kellen Moore, this is not working. Or we don't have that guy that will say, hey, these penalties that we are getting, we got to stop them. We have guys on this team that's docile. That loud truck, boy, that loud truck, he going now. we have a lot of docile guys on this team. And I'm not trying to point fingers because I'm not in the locker room. But the docile or the go along, get along guys is our biggest problem. Nobody's calling out coaching. Nobody's calling out the situation of saying, hey, this is not working. We're doing the same thing over and over again. Nobody is willing to challenge the quarterback and say, hey, dog, you know, I was open on that play, and I get it, right? You know, the guy coming back from a compound fracture injury, we have nobody challenging the coaching to say, hey, these stick routes are not working. Nobody challenging Ezekiel Elliott in practice by coming out with their chest out saying that, hey, I'm better than you. My brothers, we challenge each other every time we lace them up. We challenge each other every time we was on the court, because that builds the camaraderie, that builds better work efforts and everything. I just don't see this team challenging each other outside of offense versus defense, because they did do that this year, but they never challenged the coaches. They never realized and said, hey, we are doing the exact same thing over and over again, and we ain't getting the results. Yeah, offense versus defense was cool. You guys remember that? That was cool. We're like, yeah. But when are they gonna bring up the actual offense versus offense as relates to the coaching staff? So those are my issues right there. I could be 1,000,000% wrong. These boys could be in the locker room walking around saying, yeah, I'm better than you, dog. They could be saying that. But from the fan, I'm speaking from the fan aspect, these boys are not challenging the coaching. They are not going into the drawing board and saying, I'm going to hold this guy accountable. That's all I'm saying. I could be wrong. I could be right. I could be wrong. Maybe we dress Archie Manning the next 3 years. JL, I'm greedy, man. I don't want to wait 3 years, baby. I'm greedy, baby. I don't want to wait 3 years, baby. Oh my God. Oh, he said Mari Cooper, he did challenge Kellen Moore, and look where they got him. Oh, basically. You're right. I'm wrong, baby. Hey, the name of this show is Law Nation. I'm not always right. I'm more wrong than right. I just have opinions. Opinions could be anything, right? Cowboy Nation. You know what I ought to do? I ought to go downtown one day and just post live, right? See if we do Q&A that way. Y'all right, man. I'm wrong. I'm wrong so many. I'm wrong on so many levels. That's why I tell people, man, I ain't a beat reporter, I ain't a beat writer, I ain't a news reporter, I ain't no fanboy that run around, chase people, move. I ain't the guy to go try to squeeze interviews, TMZ law. I'm just a casual fan, baby. Just somehow love to talk about the Cowboys. Just being real with you. I'm waiting on my car to get service. I'm wrong most of the time, though. And I hate when I'm right. I do hate when I'm right. Appreciate you, Steve. Especially my film assessment, things like that. Little kids, why you think they got rid of Dez? Yep. Yeah, you know, that's what I need to do, man. I need to be more flexible. I thought about doing it, but y'all gotta understand, in the last 2 or 3 years, like this last 2 years now, right? That's how long this pandemic been. Appreciate you, man, Steven. It's been about two years since the pandemic. I thought about going out there to the Star in Frisco, or I'm over here at Texas Live, right down the street, and just do an open video, just like this, right? Right? Shout out to you. Shout out to you. You be right a lot of times, always. Yeah, I try to. I literally do. Because here's my whole, look, I'm just freestyling now. You know, I've been freestyling after the first 15 minutes, so y'all bear with me. We just kicking it right now. We kicking it. We kicking it, y'all good? It's raw, man, it's raw. Even with my draft assessment, a lot of people, this is where they get wrong. A lot of people want to be right with their assessment, right? A lot of people want to be, hey man, I'm the first one to talk about this guy. I told you guys, I told you so guy, right? Now, I'm not that dude. Like, I understand that, shoot, you can get drafted and go to the wrong system and be considered a bust. Shoot, you could be lights out in a different system and go to the right system and be considered still trash because of the personnel agreement. The general manager may not like you, or You can be like this dog. It falls into the right system, was overlooked in college, and you got into the right system, and you step up and shot like a Cooper Cup, right? A lot of people overlooked that good dude. A lot of people didn't see that man being who he is out there now, right? Before the draft. That means a lot of people were wrong. You can be that right guy, go into that right system for the first year, get all of the love and adulations for the nation, right? Then they fire the coach, and now you in a bad situation. So the draft is good, but it's not everything. It just depends on which system you go to and how you get utilized and used. Look, Elijah Mitchell, I'm just using him because close name to reference, was drafted in the 6th round. Went to the 49ers, the right system was utilized. I can only close my eyes and imagine if Tony Pollard was placed on the 49ers, right? So when I look at the draft, I look at it just like this. I did the video on Tyler Linderbaum. I told you guys, yeah, he's 289 pounds. He's athletic, 6'3". If he goes into the right system, shoot, he's gonna shine. But if he goes to the wrong system, shoot, they're gonna be like, man, he was bust, man. You know? They try to move that man at guard. He's only a center. AB, 6th round. Stephen Wright, appreciate you. I'm going to tell you another. Tom Brady, baby. If Tom Brady never played for the New England Patriots and went under Bill Belichick, who chastised him and held him accountable, would have been on 4 or 5 different teams by now. Probably would have been out of the NFL about 18 years ago. But he fell into the right system. He did. Fell into the right system. What's up, y'all? Speaking of systems, let me get on up out of here, man. I love y'all. Journey, man. Appreciate you, Stephen White. Yeah, you've been a journey, man. Love y'all. Be sure to hit that like, share this content. Cowboys having all kinds of problems. From the cap to coaches, yep. Cap to coaches, coaches to cap. And we don't have a main scheme on offense, but it is what it is. Number 1 offense in the National Football League. Everybody put up more points than the Cowboys, right? But many games we didn't have. That's our issue, right? But Bill coached them up. You're right. Cowboy Nation, post your thoughts, post your concerns. I apologize if the title is misleading. I'll go in and change the title up, and we will put the link to the article that I got most of this content from in the chat box. I really enjoyed talking to y'all. Stay tuned. I may go live in the next 20 minutes or so. But what I may do is go live on my Facebook, because my Facebook crew, they've been waiting for me to talk to. Tyler is fire. Appreciate you, man. You the real one, baby. Let's go, Cowboy Nation. We up out. Thank y'all for your prayers.